from Cooperative Kids of Agawam. And just a reminder, Cooperative Kids was founded by Bill Corbett, who is the author of the book Love Limits Lessons. And it's founded on the theory of Dreikers, who established a theory that the goal of human behavior is that we all need to feel connected and we all need to feel valued. And that is extremely important for children. When I read Dreikers' material, it really puts language to what I knew intuitively when I taught school. As I look back over my teaching years, I never once had to send a student to the principal's office. And I used to ask for the students that other teachers didn't want. I loved the challenging students and working with them from a place of their strengths, working with them from a place of helping them to know what their place in the classroom was and their significance, and helping them to feel connected just worked miracles. And I found myself teaching at teachers' conventions on how to work with challenging children in the classroom. So when I've gotten a hold of Dreikers' material, it has just so confirmed and put language and documented evidence to what I know that I know that I know that I really know works. So I put together the 6 C's of cooperation, and I've given you the first 3. The first one was calm. Nothing happens when we're hijacked by our amygdala. And it's important for mom and dad to always choose calm. Even when it's hard, count to 10. Ask yourself a question. Step back. Tell your child, I need to just have some breathing space. Daddy loves you and he will be back and we'll talk about this. But you always need to step away and calm yourself. The second C was connection. And I talked about the 4-minute rule. I also talked about the importance of you taking care of yourself before you try to implement the 4-minute rule. So if you're coming home and you're not ready to go in and really connect with your family, then take some time. It's okay. Put on your own oxygen mask before you go in and try to put it on anybody else. It's okay to take care of yourself. The third C of cooperation, we talked about consistency. As you begin to establish rules with your children, as you begin to help them to understand ahead of time what their choices are, it is extremely important that you be consistent. Consistency is the big C of cooperation. Without consistency, none of the other tools work. So today I wanted to talk with you a little bit about compassion. In the heat of the moment, we can all forget that we really need to deal with our children as well as each other with compassion. And one way to do that is to remember the iceberg. Remember that the behaviors that we see in our children are only the tip of the iceberg. There's something going on down here. And as Bill Corbett in his book, Love, Limits, and Lessons points out, is usually an unmet need of our child. And Bill would say you need to open up the hood and see what's going on under the hood. I also like the example of the iceberg. Instead of just reacting to what you see on the tip of the iceberg, you need to go down and see what is the need that my child is trying to tell me that he or she has. A challenging child is trying to tell you something. So if a child feels disconnected, they are going to work to get your attention. And if they can't get it in a positive way, trust me, they will get it. And it may not be pretty. But if they have to annoy you to the point that you yell at them, they will take that attention over no attention at all. So if you notice that a child is being obnoxious, you might ask yourself, when was the last time I really connected with my child? And maybe you need to get down to that child's level, look at them in the eye and say, you know, it looks to me like you really want my attention. I tell you what, Mom needs to finish whatever it is that you're doing, but I'm going to set the timer, and in 5 minutes I'm going to meet you over at the blue chair, and it's going to be just you and I, and we'll read a book, or we'll talk, or we'll draw a picture, or whatever you want to do, but it's just going to be you and me. Is that a deal? If your child is acting and making you feel hurt, they're saying things to you like, oh, you're a terrible mommy. I wish I had a different mommy. Underneath, what's driving them may be that they're feeling hurt. You know how we always say hurting people hurt? Well, it's the same with our children. So maybe your child got his or her feelings hurt on the bus or in school, or maybe by a sibling. For some reason their feelings got hurt. So they're out for revenge. They're going to make you feel bad because they feel bad. Again, connecting. Get down to the child's level. Wow, you must really be angry to talk to mommy that way. I wonder what's going on for you that's making you feel so angry. Again, you're opening up conversation rather than shutting it down by saying, go to your room until you can talk to me with respect. So we need to look at compassion, not just at the behavior, but what is my child dealing with that may be causing them to act this way. Now, once the need is met, depending on the age of the child, you can always go back to the child later and say, do you have a minute? Is now a good time to talk? You know, when you came home from school today and you called me a bad mom and that, I know you were just hurting. And I really appreciated that you shared with me what was going on for you. I just need to let you know that when you say those things to mommy, it makes mommy feel kind of hurt. So let's talk about a better way for you to get your emotions out so that you don't have to say those things. And then you can come up with what I call a wheel of choice, where you can help children to come up with different types of strategies where they can get their unspoken need met, that need that's underneath the iceberg, where they can come in and say, Mom, I'm feeling sad today. Or they can come in and say, Mom, I just need to go to my room and spend some time alone. They can ask for what they need rather than come in and take it out on someone else. But you can't do that unless you first have compassion and you're willing to look at not just the behavior, but what is going on for my child that might be causing this behavior.